Okay, good morning, students. And today we'll have Database Management System class. And the subject code is PCC CS601. You should note it down, your subject code as well as the name of the subject. Okay. Okay. So your subject code is PCC CS601, and you are in currently in sixth semester, and this subject is also belongs to your sixth semester. Okay. And the duration is 6 months. Maximum marks that you are going to get, that is 100. Okay. And the teaching scheme is that 3 hours per week. Okay. Next is your examination scheme, that is your mid semester exam will be of 15 marks. 10 marks there will be a assignment or quiz. 5 marks will be for the attendance, and your end semester exam will be of 70 marks. Okay, so altogether it is 100 marks. So, what is the objective of this course? So, what are you are going to learn in this course? Okay, or what will be the outcome of this course? So that you should know it very well. Okay. So the objectives of this course is that when you finish this course, you will be able to understand the different issues that is been involved in designing or implementing a database system. That means if somebody asks you to design a database for a particular organization, it can be a university, it can be of any company or whatever it is, you will be able to design, okay, and implement that um, system. Okay, so in order to design or implement a particular database management system, what are the backgrounds, okay, or what are the necessary things that you required, okay, what are the technology or what are the techniques, okay, or whatever the tools that is required to design and implement this database system, you will be learning in this course. Okay. Next, you will be study about the physical and logical database design. Okay, everything is not means directly it does not go to the physical state. Okay, so there has to be some logical state. Okay, we'll study in this course that three schema architecture. Okay, or you may call it a ANSYS Spark architecture. So in that in ANSYS Spark architecture or three schema architecture or three level architecture or three view architecture, okay, whatever you say, or three level of abstraction. So these all are same thing. Okay, that is that there are three different levels are there. One is an external level, one is the first is your view level, okay, and then there is a conceptual level, and then there is a physical level. Okay, I'll explain all these things. Then what is a data model? Okay, and what are the different types of data models? Okay, basically there are three types. So what is a data model? Data model is all about the plan, okay, or how you are going to design a particular database, okay, that belongs to this data model. Now this data model are of three types. One is your record based data model, the another one is your object based data model, and the third one is your semi structured data model. Okay, so under your like record based data model, there is an hierarchical model, there is a network model, as well as there is a relational model. Okay, there is a relational model. Okay, and under your object based data model, there is an object oriented data model, as well as there is a entity relationship data model. So from your like record based data model, you'll be studying about the relational model. Okay, and from your object based data model, you'll be studying about entity relationship model. Okay, now these two are totally different thing. Okay, your relational model and entity relation model is not the same thing. Okay, and then there is a semi structured data model, and in this semi structured data model there comes a XML, okay, or extensible markup language. So together it is a data model, and it has been categorized into three different parts. Okay. Now next, what you are going to learn is you will be understand uh, and use the data manipulation languages. Okay. Now this data manipulation language or the data language. Okay. Now there is a data definition language, there is a data manipulation language, there is a data control languages, and all these things you are going to implement with the help of SQL. Okay. SQL stands for your structure query language. Okay. So whether it's designing a like creating a database or creating a table, okay, or specifying an integrity constraints, okay. Now what is an integrity constraints? I'll explain you all. So all these things you will be learning in this course, okay. And so these are basically for designing a data. Then there is means you can manipulate the data, use the help of an SQL queries or SQL commands, like to insert the data, to update the data, to modify the data, as well as you can delete the data. Okay. Then I told you all there is a not only this data definition language, data manipulation language, but there is a data control language is also there. Okay. Now in database you'll see that different types of users are there. Okay. Now which user should have an access to which resources, that has to be maintained. Okay. Now granting some permission to a particular user or revoking some permission from a particular user, that can be done with the help of data control language. Okay. So if a particular user doesn't have such rights in order to perform, like to read or write or to execute or to delete, okay, so he or she may not be able to perform all those things. So in order to like granting access as well as to revoke or to take those controls from that particular users, those things can be done in your data control language. Okay. Now next is to develop and understand an essential database concepts such as data security. So how you are going to provide a security, integrity constraint is there. Okay. Like there is a primary key. Okay. You know that each and every person is having some fields or like some values that are unique. Okay. Your UID number or your other number, okay, is will not match with the another person's Aadhaar number. Okay. Like in your college, okay, or your university roll number will never match with the another student's roll number. Okay. So it is a unique kind of field. Okay. So this is known as an integrity. Okay. Now integrity constraints are of two types. One is your primary key that deals with the primary key, and the another one is an integrity constraint 2, okay, or which is basically used to deal with the foreign key. Okay. So foreign key means in a particular table. Okay. Like in a student table, your student ID is a primary key. Okay. Now there are some teacher who teaches you. Okay. Who belongs to some different department. Okay. Or the non-department teachers are coming to teach you. So the teacher teaches the student. Okay. So there will be a teacher entity, there will be a student entity, as well as there will be a relationship, that is the teachers. Okay. So how it is going to be implemented in a table? So if this relationship has to be implemented into a table, then there has to be a three tables. Okay. One is a student entity, the another one is the teacher entity, and the third one is the teachers entity. Okay. See, in student, if you are not understanding, then fine. You will be learning or you will understand all these things in your upcoming classes. So don't worry, just listen. Okay. Okay. So what did I say? That a teacher is teaching some students. Okay. So students, some table will be there. In student table, the student ID will be the primary key. In a teacher table, the teacher ID will be the primary key. Okay. Now, how a table will be formed, okay, for this teachers relationship. Okay. Now teacher is teaching. Okay. Now teacher is teaching, and in order to teach he will be going to some classroom. Okay. and the particular date will be there. Okay, so one table has to be created or has to be formed by the name of teachers. Okay, but logically it will be designed as a relationship. Okay, but this relationship will have an attribute. Okay, now whenever a relationship is having an attribute, you need to form a table for that particular relationship. If a relationship does not have any attribute, then there is no need to form a table. But whenever a relationship is having an attribute, you need to form a table. Okay, so the same way in a teacher's table, your primary key, that is your student's primary key, will be a secondary key out there. Okay, so similarly your teacher table, teacher like teacher id will be a foreign key out there. So these are the relationship. Okay, and with the help of this foreign key, we just try to maintain a relationship. See, without this relationship, how you are going to like access or retrieve the data from more than one table? Okay, you won't be able. Then that will not be your relational database management system. It will be a database management system. Okay, and in your database management system, okay, is it clear? Okay. Now, next is your concurrency. Okay, we'll study about the acid property of a transaction. Okay, A stands for atomicity, C for consistency, I for isolation, and D for durability. So whenever a transaction is being performed, it goes through this acid property of a transaction. Okay, like I would like to give you an example. Like suppose I want to transfer, okay, I just want to transfer 1,000 rupees from my account to Anurodh's account. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that 1,000 rupees will be debited from my account and it will be credited to Anurodh's uh, account. Okay, now suppose 1,000 rupees has been debited from my account and it has not been credited in Anurodh's account. So those things are not in. So then there is a problem. Okay. So in this acid property of a transaction, we'll see how if a transaction if happens, then from the start it should be an end also. Okay. So these are the properties of a like transaction. Okay, so we'll study those things. Then we'll see like how this distributed database is being used. Like you know that your railway reservation system, the database is not located in a central place, okay, or in a central server. It has been distributed, and each and different location can access the same database. Okay. Now next there is an intelligent database or the data. Those things we'll study in a data mining class. Okay. Then there are some architecture, whether it's a client server architecture, okay, two-tier architecture, or it's a three-tier architecture, okay. And then there is a data warehousing. So what is the meaning of data warehousing? Is a repository where we store all the legacy data. Okay, the legacy data means the historical data. Okay, so these are the objective. Means after you finish this course, you will be learning about all these things. Means all these things will be clear to you all. Okay. Next, to design and build a simple database system. In the second unit, you will be able to design a system when I'll be explaining you all about the entity relationship diagram. I'll be giving you some tasks where you will be able to design some database management system. Means the real time, okay, you'll get the real experience and demonstrate and competence with the fundamental tasks like how and what are the tools that you have learned and how you are going to implement while designing your database system or entity relationship diagram like that. Okay, and based on that entity relationship diagram, you will be able to like create table. Okay, create the whole system. Okay, so those things we'll be learning. Okay. Next, to understand the different issues that has been involved in designing and implementation of a database. Now, people now see in a course of study, you will be studying this database management system. Okay, and then you will be studying or You'll be creating a website or you'll be creating any application. Okay, but how you will like put a benchmark like these are the things that has to be there while creating a database. So until and unless you study this database management system in detail, okay, you won't be able to rectify or you won't be able to identify what are the fields that are required out there and what are the redundant fields. Okay, so for that there are normalization. Okay, so first I'll explain you all what is an unnormalized form. Okay, so unnormalized form will have a redundant data. Okay, it will have a multiple set of data, then that has to be okay. And in that unnormalized form the data will be non-atomic. Okay, that each and every row may have a multiple values. Okay, so those things should not be out there. Then after that we will normalize it with the first normal form. Okay, and after we have normalized it with the first normal form, we will check for the second normal form, then third normal form, then we may check for or means in the real application we'll check till your third normal form only. Okay, but in studies there is a BCNA for voice code normal form, then there is a fourth normal form, fifth normal form, as well as the sixth normal form also. Okay, so if you don't study all these things, then how you are going to create an application? Okay, you have created a very nice UI, okay, user interface, okay, with the help of your HTML and the CSS and all those things, but the backend, the database is not in a consistent manner. Okay, now suppose currently you are having only 5 users or 10 users, but whenever the user grows, okay, then your system will will hang or you'll find some lag in those systems. So you should if you don't study all these things normalization, then you won't be able to design a perfect system. So these are the things that has to be done. Okay, okay, so before I start, can you explain me what is a data one by one? Whatever is there in your mind, you just uh, try to express. Okay, I'll just start with a Nitish, just tell me what is the data? What comes in your mind when I ask you what is the data? I don't want any perfect like answer. Just whatever comes in your mind, just tell me.
Like you will store anything.
Yes, like
So like image, video in a store in memory.
okay. Next, who wants to give the answer? Kesing Sherpa, what is data? Just think. Okay, don't see anywhere.
Data,
What is the data?
data can be information, so
Yes,
information or
information or
information.
okay. Next, Pragya Subba.
So, so information where we store the informations.
Okay, okay, very good. Neha,
Sir, facts and figures, sir.
what are facts and what is a figure?
So like raw facts and figures, so like information about something.
Can you explain me what do you mean by the raw facts and figures?
So raw facts and figures means anything, sir.
Yes, it got struck. Yes, yes. Continue. Yeah.
So raw facts and figure means like data can be numbers, names, anything, sir. Like numeric to alphabetic.
Okay. Satyam,
Sir, it's information, sir.
what kind of information?
So, like Neha said, the facts, figures that we usually want to store, that is data, sir. Like,
Okay. Can you explain me what some facts? Yeah, that is the correct answer. Okay. But what facts? That is the reason I told you just give your own answer. Okay. Next, Nayan.
So data informations that are stored.
Data is an information that is being stored.
Yes, sir. So in any form, like binary form or something.
Okay. Subarna Tama. Subarna. Okay. Anuradh Pradhan.
So set of informations which we can use later on for our analysis if you want to.
Can you give me an example?
So like the telephone booth history, like if you want to call any other states, like there are telephone call number records where we can use as a reference.
Aryaman.
So data is like a message that we as a user send to the computer for them to process it, sir, and use it.
So can you give me some example?
So like when we run a code in like compiler and everything, so we have to input some messages to the computer to say like add 2 plus 2. So we give the message to the computer and it processes it and it compiles it. So giving us the answers.
Okay, Neha, do you want to correct him? Is it what he said?
Yes, sir.
Is he correct? Then you will be wrong.
Why, sir?
Is it the way he said?
So like data can be anything, sir. Like that can be processed.
Okay. Tithankar? Are you there? Tithankar?
Yes, sir.
Turn on your video.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is data?
Data information.
Data is an information. Okay. So which comes first, the information or data?
Information, sir.
Anuruddh? Lavani? I know she wants to say something.
Sir, information and or facts.
Information?
Or facts.
Okay. Okay, then I will be giving you the answer. I'll explain you about the data and information. I'll just annotate out here. And I'll just- Okay, so data. What happened? Okay, so what is data? Okay. So this is data. Okay. Now this is a one line of data. So it can be n number of data. Okay. So can you find out any information out of this data? So there is no information. Okay. Now just see how I'm going to extract or retrieve an information out of this data. Okay. Okay. Is it clear to you all? So these are the some datas. Okay. This is basically a few line of lines. Okay. And this is a data. So that data in computer data can be anything. Okay. It is not like data has to be your like 0 and 1 like that. Okay. So data can be anything, whether it's a video, it can be an audio, it can be uh, text. Okay. Graphics, anything in computer is a data. Okay. So this is also a data in terms of DVMS or in terms of data mining and all those things. So this is a data. Okay. So what is this data is all about? That some values has been written out there, but we don't find any information out of this data. Okay. So as I asked Anurodh that which comes first, data or information? He told information. No, it never comes first, because out of data, what we are supposed to do is we need to find this information. Okay. That is the thing. That is the reason there is a subject called data mining. What? Okay. I'll explain those things in data mining class. Okay. Okay, so this is the data, and out of this, I have just found out some information. Okay, now what purpose I'll be using this information? I may use to store, or you may use to record this data. Okay, or I may use this for a reporting purpose. You may have seen that there are big malls are there, or grocery stores, or so many a chain of stores are there. Okay, but the owner is not sitting in one store. Okay, at the end of a day, or at the end of a month, or at the end of a weekend. Okay, the manager sends the detailed report to the owner owner of that particular organization or the shop, or whoever may be the responsible for that. Okay, so what happens? So he or she is getting an all the information that these are the sales data of this particular or this specified date. Is it clear to you all? So those information comes from this data. Is it clear? Okay. Is it clear to everybody, the data and information?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what Neha said, that what is the data? Data are basically the raw facts and figures. Then I have explained Satyam that what are these raw facts. So this is the raw facts. Okay. Is it clear? And what are the figures? It may be a diagram, it may be an image, or it may be a video, or all those things. Okay. So you should have a proper justification of your answer. Is it clear? So what is the data? Data are basically the raw facts and figures. Okay, and what is an information? Information is basically a processed form of data. Okay, so what I did, I just processed this data, and then I just found out this information. Is it clear? Will you forget this example?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.